I don't know if you remember this, but all the
I
balls. What do you
pause.
balls? No, you deck the halls with balls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All of the spherical
Baby,
things.
we know what you're saying.
Right. So I actually separate them all before I put them on the tree.
The balls are all over the
Lord.
place of mine. You just grab one, you got to restring it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, I
then you put
can't.
it on, and you try to just space them out. Like I'm not gonna
I
organize.
can't do it.
I'm organized while I'm doing the tree.
What is up, y'all? It is your boy Adri,
And your girl LaShow,
and this is the Make It Make Sense podcast.
a podcast where we come at you week after week, topic after topic, to discuss all the crazy things that are going on in this world.
Yeah, because you know y'all crazy, man. Y'all been crazy from season 1. Season 2 is no different.
Season 2 is no different. So, before we even get into the topic, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you can take fun in all the crazy shenanigans we have here at Make It Make Sense.
You know, we forgot to say that in season 1.
We did.
And it's funny because I realized even when I watch things on YouTube, I would love things. I would even share it, but I would forget to like and subscribe. So it's such an easy thing to do. But we're so grateful that you're doing it right now. Like,
Right now.
like hit it.
Like,
Yeah.
boom, pause.
We
Okay.
appreciate you. What we talking about today, baby?
Okay, so it's my favorite holiday that's coming up since
It's the most wonderful time of the
It's
year.
the most wonderful time
Of the year. Okay. We need to take this show on the road.
But no, seriously, I've always loved Christmas. Out of all the holidays, I bypass Halloween, definitely bypass Thanksgiving, even though I love food.
You no.
I by,
You
I,
bypass
I would be
Thanksgiving, babe?
so excited to see my cousins and things. I typically would eat like the last bits of food. I was not a big eater on Thanksgiving. I would be so excited.
I
see
think
family.
that's why you're the way you are now. You gave up plates. Listen, this girl ain't gonna put down no plate. Okay? It's funny, and I think I talked about this in another episode. Sean don't give up that food, boy. Sean, when we go out to eat, LaShandra's 90% of the time.
I'm LaShondra.
Yeah, you're LaShandra right now, okay?
That's-
She's gonna order my food and she's gonna order her food. So clearly this is like the reflex of your child.
That's crazy. I'm still kind of the same way. I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving that it's like it's cool, but I would always get more excited for the family or like seeing my cousins and friends and things. But Christmas,
Yeah.
we was okay. Think about it. Christmas, what happened? You had a minimum 2-week vacation. I swear, as a kid, it felt like 3.
For sure.
You were counting
Still
down.
till now.
You were counting down until you were out of school. Okay. Then, in addition to that, you had gifts. Okay. And the older I got, the more I looked forward to like that Christmas fresh fit. You know, like my hair being super pressed, everything just being super crisp, and then my grandparents and things to come down. Oh my gosh.
I think coming into Christmas, I think that's probably everybody's favorite holiday. And some people don't celebrate actual Christmas, right? Some people don't incorporate the whole Saint Nick thing, but whatever it is, it really doesn't matter how you celebrate Christmas or how you celebrate that season, because the truth of the matter is most of us are off from work, most of us are spending time with family. So that's what we're really talking about. But my fondest memories of, I have so many fond memories, but it could be summed up in a song.
Oh.
You know my favorite
Oh my gosh.
song.
And it's
have
such a
to
weird
hear this
song,
every
bro.
Christmas. I'm not a crier. I think you know what? It's crazy. As I'm getting older, I feel like I'm getting more emotional, and I gotta cut that mess out. I don't know what
No.
it's about.
Okay, if y'all want to see him cry, look up my baptism video because
Why would you even do that?
Because he helped baptize me, y'all. It was a very emotional moment. Apparently the whole church was crying because that's what everyone tells me.
I know. and
Every
I get
time
text
people-
messages everywhere like
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
So if you want to see him cry and choke up,
That was weird. And not to go off subject, but she didn't even tell me she was gonna get baptized. She
the
just
Lord told me.
walked by me. I'm playing the bass guitar, and she just walks by me, taps me, and smiles. And then I'm like, okay, you're going to the car for something. Next thing I find out, she's on stage about to get baptized, and then the pastor's calling me up to help. So that was, of course, that was a moment.
Yeah.
But
We might need
but
to link that in the description so people can
no, we're
watch.
not linking that description because that is such an embarrassing video. But the song that lets me I have to hear the song every Christmas, and we're not being sponsored, but was it Charlie Parker?
Chuck Brown.
Charlie Brown, sorry. Charlie Parker is another amazing musician, but Charlie Brown, um,
Christmas time is here. I don't know why you like that song.
that I don't know what it is.
It sound like literally like little baby chickmunks.
And then it goes into another mode. Da 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 dee dee, da 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 dee dee, and then back. Ba dee 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 dee. With the resolve is crazy. So musically, it's crazy. For all my music people out there, y'all already know that that song is completely modal. It goes away and it comes back, but it's this warm, hot chocolate feeling that I get.
That made me want some cinnamon rolls when you said warm. I don't know, it did something to my spirit. Now I want
It is something to your belly. I'm trying to tell you.
some
But something
flakes
gonna put
cinnamon
down the
rolls like
plate.
that's fresh out the oven.
I don't know.
Or like a nice brownie, like a chocolate brownie with like
Hey,
walnuts. And
we
so
about to head over
sorry.
to food right now.
So sorry. Food is
Um,
important.
We've had some
That's the
memory. You know what? I think everyone has. I hope we have good memories of Christmas, but maybe everybody has a good memory of Christmas. And I know some people grew up in families where Christmas wasn't a big thing, or maybe they were impoverished in some way. So I don't take for granted that, gifts are a thing. That wasn't a big thing for me when I was growing up. Christmas was really about the togetherness of family. That was my memory. So if you could, in 3 words or less, or maybe in 10 words or less, what is your greatest, most fond memory of Christmas? Put it in the comments. We want to see.
Absolutely. I would say for me, for sure, it was like I said, definitely like being able to link up with all the cousins and not have to worry about school or anything like that. Like the waking up and there were gifts under the tree was good. Now, as a kid, I was not the decorator. My mom might watch this episode, and that's one of her biggest, like, almost complaints about me. Is like she would be so excited to decorate the tree and all the things. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I come do my thing, but then I want to go read a book or go sit in the corner somewhere. Like just call me when the gifts are ready. I don't want to put the tree up
And
now.
Michelle is actually serious. She would literally want to go read a book
I
during
like,
Christmas.
but now as an adult, and you and I, we celebrated our first Christmas together last year, and that was a big thing. We put up a tree at your house, we put up a tree up at my house, and we helped, and that was a big thing for me. I think as I'm getting older, like I said this in a previous episode, the roles reverse, and now all of a sudden it's like you're the person that wants to create all the tradition and the memories. And even though, like I said, having a tree and everything like that was a huge part of my childhood, to the point where one of my some of my fondest memories are with my grandparents around this time. For like my grandparents on my father's side, when I would go over to my grandparents' home, my grandpa would take me with him and we would go pick out a tree together. So it'd be me, my grandpa, and
A
my
real
uncle
tree.
Barry. A real
Real
tree.
trees.
Yeah, yeah, it was about the real tree.
It's something about that real pine. You bring it in your house and it changes the
Every
entire vibe.
Every-
Scent. Yeah, for sure.
So we went and we got a tree. Me, my uncle Barry, and my grandpa, and they would pick out a tree, tie it to the roof, and everything like that. And then, honestly, it was so funny. My mom says I did decorate the tree at her house, but I was the main decorator of the tree at my grandmother's house. And maybe it's because no one else, like, I think they just said, "All right, Deshandra, here you go," and they would give me all the bulbs and stuff at a certain point, and I would kind of just do my thing on that tree by myself. Um, and it's so funny because I
I
have
was just
this.
about to, I was waiting for that.
I have this baby here, and this was actually the angel that was the topper of the Christmas tree that we will put up at my grandmother's house every year, and I still put it up every single year. This particular topper, because it's just so nostalgic, of being able to do it and have fun with it. And yeah, just beautiful times. With my other grandparents, they would come down uh and have gifts all in their trunk for everybody, and we would go from house to house just riding out with the grandparents. It was good.
Yeah, that's always fine. Gifts is one thing, but we said this when we are talking a couple of weeks ago on Thanksgiving. there's something special about togetherness, and there's something special about not having to worry about the mundane responsibilities and going to work or whatever. And it's very apparent in this season. I mean, you're already seeing it for sure. You're already seeing it. You're driving through the streets, you see the lights. The entire vibe of the city is changing. Everyone is being a little nicer to each other. We're
Hopefully.
opening doors. We're, yeah, hopefully. But generally speaking, I mean, at this time of the year, and that's why they say it's the most wonderful time of the year, because people bring out their kindness.
Hmm.
People separate from the mundane tasks of working. We're not worrying too much about bills at this time. You know, we ain't worried about bills
And you not worried
because
about
we go the deepest into debt in Christmas. Nobody ain't worried about no bills. And granted, we don't want you to be crazy with it and then end up, you know, in debt and you dying for the rest of the year, for the beginning of the year, because that would suck. But the spirit and the vibe of Christmas, um, I think transcends everything.
this.
And kids definitely feel it. The kids are happy. I love seeing kids smiling,
You love seeing
happy.
kids?
I do love seeing kids, and
You
and
want to
I've
make some?
well, you got some time?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, because whatever. But no, it's just a beautiful time. Everything makes me nostalgic. And you know what? One of the things that we'll talk about this in another episode, but one of the things that is kind of weird for me at this time is I never, you know, being born when I was born, obviously my birthday is right around the corner, December 24th. But with my birthday being so close to Christmas, gifts were not really a big thing. And when I hear a lot of people speaking about Christmas, especially younger people, it's about what am I going to get? What am I going to receive? The things, the physical things that will make me happy, but it's never been that way for me. So what I've done is I just give myself a try. You know what I mean? So this last year, Lashandra and I were able to go to where did we go again?
We went to Argentina a year
We
ago.
went to Argentina and Uruguay for my birthday.
No one says it like
Uruguay.
that, baby.
Uruguay.
Okay, before we get
I know I'm saying it wrong.
before we get too deep into gifts,
Yeah,
I
we'll
want
talk about that later.
I want to go back.
Let's go back.
You say you want kids.
That's not what we're going back
Yes,
to.
that's what we're going back to.
We're
It
talking
makes
about the
sense.
season, the gift
The,
of the season.
and it's the season to give
To give
a lot
babies?
and rings. But outside of that, okay.
There's a lot of hint dropping.
No, but outside of that, seriously, like tradition. We are both coming into this with different traditions from our families. What are some traditions that you think you want to keep when, you know, it's that time for us to, as you say, lock in? That's your favorite phrase, lock in. Um, and what would be some traditions that you think you would want to create, like that are just brand new with Christmas
You
specifically?
know, I respect how people celebrate the holiday of Christmas. I do respect that. Um, but Santa Claus has never been a part of my Christmas. Um, it's never been, hey, Santa Claus is coming. So that's never been a part. So when in the family that we create, um, I don't mind having, you know, a little Santa thing here and there. I'm not offended by Santa. I'm not offended by Santa. Um, so that's not a big thing, whether that's there or not. One thing I definitely want to do that my family didn't necessarily do is you mentioned it earlier. I'd like to bring a real pine into the home.
Really? You never had that?
I, I my parents, I believe my parents did it one year, but that wasn't a thing. We had, you know, the fake tree, which I think it still does the same thing, but I think the pine does something in addition. The scent, the feel of, you know, having to sweep up the little pine leaves. I think that adds a little texture. So that's something that I want to do with my family. This past year, you and I set up the trees at my house and your house. That was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed my time with you. I enjoyed seeing how your creativity works. Um, I
We had two
enjoyed.
different trees.
We had two different trees. I enjoyed arguing with you, um, about how to put certain things up and the colors, and how to spread things. I'm so oh God,
Methodical.
clearly that's not what I am. But
Methodical.
methodical. That for the you. I don't know if you remember this, but all the little the
All right.
balls, the what do you
Pause.
balls? All of the no, you deck the halls with balls, right?
Yeah.
Bigger pause. But yeah, all of the spherical
Baby,
things.
we know what you're saying.
Right. So I actually separate them all before I put them on the tree. So I put
So
them all
weird,
on the
bro.
ground,
Correct.
right? And so as I put them on the tree, it's weird. I will grab one from each pile and put it on the tree so that way I know it's even. And I do the same thing with the candy cane. So seeing LaShondra look at me funny for that, it's like, what's wrong with that? I've been doing it every year by myself. But sharing
Meanwhile,
that time,
the balls are all over the
Lord,
place of mine. You just grab one, you got to restring it.
oh my
Okay,
God, I
then you put
can't,
it on, and you try to just space them out. Like I'm not gonna
I
organize.
can't do it.
I'm organized
Do it.
while I'm doing the tree, not
You
pre-organized
know
for the
what?
tree.
To me, and I'm not saying that I don't shop at like department stores like a Ross or Marshalls or whatever, but the way that Lashandra puts together a Christmas tree is like shopping at one of those stores. Like you just never know what you're gonna get. Like it could
Everything's
be
everywhere.
you'd have to go through every single thing. The way that I put my Christmas tree together is more like a department store where you know where all your stuff is at. And
I will say this also, because of the fact that I inherited my home, a lot of the stuff that I have, once again, was stuff like that's old. We're talking about stuff that's from my childhood. There's a lot of stuff that I still haven't bought. I haven't bought new decor. All that decor we put up last year, stuff that I've had since I was a little girl, including the lights. Some good lights. I don't know. I know my grandpa bought the lights. You know, may he rest in.
how do your lights still work?
Right, my grandpa
Because
bought that.
my little the lights that I thought I bought,
They don't make stuff to last
right,
today.
right.
You know, you
That's what
want
it
something
is.
good, you gotta go back. 'Cause they don't make stuff to last today. Okay, so in regards to tradition, when we start our family, one thing that I would really love during the holiday season, and this is something that I feel like I need to do more of in general, like it will be just community service. Like I think that like
Mm,
as individuals we're blessed, and I think when we come together fully and make a family, I think that I will want to make sure our kids are really grounded. I think we are talking about travel, and that's one way to ground them because they'll be able to see so much. But I think just always grounding them in the reality of understanding that they're blessed, and not just putting so much, And I love toys and everything like that, but I don't want to put meaning only on
right.
material gifts. So I think thinking outside the box, with what we would want our children to experience in Christmas as a whole, of what the gifting experience looks like. That will be a big thing for me. So like the tree, I want the whole ambiance in the house to just scream, like holiday season, Christmas, it's warm, got cookies and all the things. But I think also like ways to think outside the box on what we do to celebrate the holiday or pre-celebrate the holiday. Not to mention with your birthday being so close to it, I think it will be important to still have a distinction, right, for your birthday to celebrate their father and everything like that. So that, me personally, that's something that I would think. Oh, look at you over there smirking. What you smirking at, baby?
I don't know. That was interesting. I like that perspective. You know, we do think, and I'm hearing you, and I completely agree. Uh, you never talked to me about that. I never really thought about that, but um, I would love to have a really good balance, and that's what I was getting from what you were saying. So we have all the fixins, we have all the vibe. Um, I'm thinking about it now as in an order. What if we were to have all our Christmas festivities set up, and then before we actually start, we take the kids out, and then we do our little community service first, and get the kids in the feeling of giving, because obviously as a kid, how much can you really give, except for the little card that you drew at school. But if we could teach the kids to give,
And that's something I want to do year
we do
round,
it.
if I'm honest. Like one thing I did, and like I said, I've gotten out of the practice of it, was once a month. Like a year or two ago, once a month I used to go and do community service. So that's something that like I would like to continue to do because I just think it's important to give back. I think sometimes we don't, and there are so many different ways to get back. I did community service at a thrift store that would give like stuff to, at a very much cheaper price. I've done homeless shelters. I've done
Do
painting.
you
I've done
think
yard work.
do you think giving back in this season makes a difference? Because you give back. I know you give back. I know you personally. I give back. You know I give back because you know me personally. And we do that all year.
Mhm.
What is so different about doing it in Christmas, and is it important to do that in Christmas? How do you feel about that? And how do we create that distinction?
I think holiday seasons can be tough for a lot of people, especially in a place like the Western world where consumerism is such a big thing. Family, we can't ignore the mental health aspects that rise around this time. Like I mentioned previously, that when the sun starts to go down faster, and
Yeah,
like I get a bit more
yeah.
anxious. But that's a thing. Like there are actual studies that showcase that around this time, like the fact that we're in darkness more often, like so if being a happy person and being able to give, some of that from a full cup is just a beautiful thing to do. And I think that's what we're called to do as people and humans. And that's something that I will be very important for me when it comes to the key.
When I look at how I've spent Christmas for the last maybe 15 years, which is out of the country and away from my family. Um, not and there's absolutely nothing wrong with my family. I love my family. But it's weird because it's my birthday also,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to burden anyone
Mm-hmm.
with having to say, "Oh, happy birthday, Adrian." So and this is the only area of my life that I do that, but I actually remove myself in order to it's a weird way. I feel like in a weird way I'm giving back. I'm allowing people to not have to worry about me. But when I
But I'm gonna
when I
push back on that.
when I but here's where I'm going with that. When I go out of town, it's a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun. You know how I travel. Every day I'm doing something cool. But there are moments when I see people with their family,
Mm-hmm.
and it warms my heart
Mm-hmm.
because I know I have a family. But if I was in another position, maybe not even going out of town, maybe being in the United States where I do have all this time to myself, I'm off from work, I'm off from the daily routine, but I have no one to spend that time with. I mean, we talked about cuffing season. We made a lot of fun there. We had a lot of laughs there, but you're right. There are some people, granted, we have this whole nostalgic feeling around us, but what happens to the people who have lost
Mm-hmm.
that special one, or the people who just have not experienced that? And so there are mental illnesses, and I could totally see that. So maybe it is and this is just us sharing this with you, and this is our thoughts in real time, that maybe this season we may want to try to do something nice for
Someone
someone, maybe
else.
being intentional
Yeah.
about maybe looking for someone who may not have family, or that person who visited the church from out of town who is now living in your town, or that person who is working at your job and they took a flight to come work.
Even if it's something as simple as, hey, I want to pay for this person's gas, or hey, I want to like him. And if it's not financial, it could be anything. But those are things
Maybe
to keep in
inviting
mind.
them over, maybe that could be a thing too,
You
to
know,
invite them with your
well, we already know how I feel about people in the house. That was a
well,
previous
we're
episode. You got to
inviting
go
people.
back.
We're inviting people to our house. Nashandra thinks that 30 people is good. I want 60 people at the house. We're gonna have a real
that's
fun
that's
Thanksgiving.
a
We're doing all of that.
whole nother podcast episode. Um, but I do want to say this. I want to push back on this because I know we're going to talk about it more. When we first started dating and was coming to our first Christmas, you mentioned to me, I was like, oh, what are we doing for Christmas? And he was like, oh, well, that's that's my birthday, and I like to travel out of the country, but hey, no, it won't mean anything. It's no stress. Like, if you want to be with your family, be with your family. I'm just letting you know that I like to go out the country. There were several thoughts that went through my mind. One, first of all, don't ever tell me you're going out the country and I don't have to worry about going. Second of all, why would I, love my family, love y'all, but my family have children and men and women and everything like that. Why would I, go around them with their kids and their husband and their wives, and the person I want to build a family with is somewhere else? Like, don't ever sit here and think, oh my gosh, I'm forcing people to hassle the family that we create. Well, it won't be a hassle. So we all go. Me, the dog, the kids, everybody getting on the plane or the boat.
It's such a weird like, and shout out to all the people like me who have birthdays in this season and other holidays. It's just you got to talk to somebody who has a birthday, and y'all hit me in the comments. Tell me if I'm right or if I'm way off on this. If you have a birthday around a holiday, do you feel like it can be a burden on others? Like it's Thanksgiving. My older brother's birthday is around Thanksgiving.
Wow, your
I don't know
mama
if he
just.
feels.
Well, yeah.
Listen, all right. I don't know if he feels that way. I never talked to my older brother about this specific subject, but y'all tell me, am I way off? I just feel like for Christmas, it's just such a big family time, and I just would hate to
But you are
bring that up.
family.
You know,
You are family. Also, in the comments, tell us because I'm so curious. What are things that you all might be doing or thinking about doing with your kids or family members that's different? I would love to hear new traditions and new ideas. Like that's super important. Now, because we're around Adri's birthday, he doesn't know, but I already have a bunch of surprises planned for him. No, I have a bunch of surprises planned for him. So we're gonna be celebrating Adri, okay, all month long, or at least for another episode. But that's
wow, you just got minimized there.
just a tad.
All month long.
Well, think about it. All right, babe. Moral of the story.
Moral of the story is Christmas is about so much. You can actually make it whatever you want to make it, but whatever you do, whether you're celebrating Santa Claus, Jesus, I don't know. Well, y'all probably got something else to celebrate, but it is a time where you should definitely take to reflect, spend some time with some family, and definitely give and not only look to receive.
Speaking of giving, make sure you give us a like, give us a subscribe, and give us a share. That would be an amazing Christmas gift.
That's
to
our
us.
Christmas gift. Thank you.
But as always,
My name is Adri, and this is.
let's show. And remember, life can be chaotic.
But if you're going to survive it,
You got to make it make sense. See you next time.